thank you very much for attending this conference. You know, the purpose of this conference is basically to introduce all the members of Entrepreneur Group. So we will be doing these introductions and putting these videos, which we are recording now. These videos we'll put it on. So the theme is what are the top 3 entrepreneurial skills that brought you success? I know that most of you are employees, so you are entrepreneurs, so to speak. Even a report says entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurial energy or talents are required for entrepreneurs also, because they are the ones who actually make an organization go to the next level. So speaking about your own success stories will be the theme of today's conference. So today we have all professionals in this group, and you work for organizations. So that is a group that we have here. So this will be a total hospital and healthcare special. So that is what this program will be. So to begin, what I would want you to do is introduce yourself first. Take a minute or so to introduce yourself, and then we will go into your personal journey, okay, and the success that you have got. So, so how do we start this? We will start with, we'll go in an alphabetical order. It is the best thing to do, I guess. So we'll start with Jay Ganesh, and then we'll go to Jay Krishnan, and then we'll go to Shyam Joshi, Dr. Shyam Joshi, and then we will go to Subodh. So please go ahead, Jay Ganesh, introduce yourself. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Harsha sir for giving this opportunity to share my views in this elite group. I understand there are many senior members in this group, and I'm sure we can share our views and help each other in our journey. So myself, Jay Ganesh, I'm a healthcare professional having 20 years of experience in hospital administration. So I started my career in LV Prasad Eye Institute, where I joined as a management trainee, worked there in various capacities for 10 years. Then I joined Continental Hospitals. There I worked for a brief period. Then moved on to the present company, that is Asian Institute of Nephrology and Urology. I've been associated with AINU for last 8 years. At present, I'm working here as Assistant General Manager, taking care of day-to-day administration and operations. So I have done my MBA in HR and also completed MPhil in Hospital and Health Systems Management from BITS Pilani. So apart from day-to-day administration, I have strong inclination towards training people, motivating them, inspiring them. So in the process, I thought, why not get some certification so that I can train people? So I'm a certified trainer, and also I've done a couple of courses like CBT, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, and NLP. So having these in my bucket, I train people in my own place, and when I teach, I'll also learn. That is the mantra that I always follow. So this is all about me.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. So we'll now go to Jay Krishnan.
So good afternoon, all. It's a privilege to be part of this group and the discussion. Thanks, Harsha, he's a close friend of mine. We have known each other for last, now I think 15 more years, more than 15, 16 years, isn't it, Harsha? The years have flown past, actually. So I had the opportunity to attend the first entrepreneurship training that Harsha had done, and then thanks for that, and it was still kind of green in my memory. Okay, so going to my background, I work in healthcare space. I started off with an institute called Indian Institute of Health Management Research. You all might be knowing that it's now a university. So in the infancy period of that, in that initial period, I was part of the faculty there. I spent around 10 years in that institute, where I used to teach health and hospital management, population sciences. I come from a statistics, plus I also did my master's in healthcare administration from University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, USA. So after that, I was working. Later on, around 2011, I got my, even the 1 year. It's a advanced management course from IIM Kolkata, just to refresh and reorient myself in the, kind of advancement of my management topics. So I did that in 2011-12 also. So IIM Kolkata, I had this 1 year senior management program also I did. So this is kind of qualifications for me. I have a 30-year experience. First 10 years was in IHMR. Later on, I was on the horse. I mean, like you're riding programs. So it's more of developmental programs. Like you all are more into hospital. I am in, worked with healthcare in the rural areas, last mile and other things. So in development programs, working with various organizations, mostly working, it's a one part. I was also implementing Bill Gates Foundation funded programs in Andhra and, Telangana regions. And then there were also technical support agent work that I did with state governments, around 10 to 15 state governments, plus the central government, the Ministry of Health. At the moment, I am working with Niti Aayog, again, technical assistance provision for their aspirational district programs. So mainly to look at how do you nurture programs, entrepreneurial programs with the government, which reaches the last mile. And if you see the aspirational districts, these are the most backward districts, 112 districts out of bottom 112 districts out of the 750 districts. So we are trying to provide the technical assistance. So this is my small, kind of description about that. And it's really nice to learn from you guys who are actually doing work in the hospital. So we do the work outside. So I mean, it's quite complimentary to choose such a group. I think Harsha has chosen well. So I'll hear about others. So we'll continue our discussion.
The complexity which you people handle is quite huge. In a hospital, it will be limited to the number of beds that you're handling, but your programs are nationwide. Polio, vaccination, and all this, it is nationwide. So those programs are very difficult to manage. And also the bureaucracy in the country, it's so difficult to put up with them. Even that is a very interesting thing to see. So now we will go to Dr. Shyam Joshi.
Yes.
Your introduction, please.
Good afternoon, all. I am a doctor by professional. I did MBA in hospital management from IIHMR. So the common link between us. So probably.
Yeah, great to know.
I have done from IIHMR Delhi. So I have 10 years of experience. So my experience is in operations, medical services, and quality. To start with, I joined with Hosmac Consultancy and did a project with NHSRC in Maharashtra, particularly Vidarbha area. Then I worked with Aditya Birla Hospital. So I was handling medical services there. And now, not recently, now approximately 5 years, I have completed with the AINU. So I have been working here as an in-charge medical services. So from last 5 years, and I am and now as we are growing as a AINU, so we are also growing with the organization, and we are doing the justice to what we are doing currently. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, Subodh, you go. You're next. Subodh Singh.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm thankful to Mr. Harsha for giving this opportunity to be a part of this panel. And as he rightly says, the turmoil and the complexities of healthcare are definitely worth setting up a platform like this to share and discuss how we can help each other going forward. Because I firmly believe this COVID is not going to die off, at least for another year or so. And we'll have to somehow find ways to survive. And basically, I'm a BCom graduate. I passed out about 25 years back and then joined Apollo. There was an Apollo Institute of Hospital Administration, which continues to provide courses for post-graduation and hospital management. I belong to the second batch there. And from there, it's been a good journey for me, having been a part of Apollo Group for a long period of 15 years and being a part of some of their very key projects like Apollo Way, which was a project taken up with McKinsey and Apollo together, trying to find operating solutions, trying to find methods of monitoring day-to-day services to patients, requirements of doctors. So that was a very good project, and which helped me learn the importance of data tracking, monitoring, and how it helps in facilitating a standard, I mean, I would say a particular regulation of doing things, a particular methodology adopted so that we get consistent results. We don't deviate. So that was a very good learning for me. And going forward, I went to Gulf for 2 years, where I was working in another good organization in Riyadh. Came back, joined Apollo. So then moved into Apollo Way, as I said. After doing my Apollo Way program at Chennai and Delhi Apollos, I was heading the Bhubaneswar branch. That's about 300 beds as a general manager. So all in all, from the time perhaps I took up the Apollo Way program, the need for entrepreneur skills has evolved. And from then on, when I was assigned the responsibility of heading the Bhubaneswar Apollo project, there it was quite evident that as a leader, I'll have to take decisions. I'll have to think in the interest of the organization and take steps which will take my staff along with me, which will require me to fulfill the consultant requirements. This was where it all really germinated. The last 5 years, in 2016, I came back from Bhubaneswar back to Hyderabad, where I actually belong. And I have been a part of the KIMS group, a very, very fast growing entity. And as you all must be knowing, being in the healthcare space, that just about a month ago, we've had our IPO, and which is done well, of course. And the hospital, the institute now has fresh funds to invest further, with our plan to invest in Bombay, in Chennai, in Bangalore, and also further investments in Hyderabad. So it's been very, very nice to be a part of such a good journey. First, initially of Apollo, now the way KIMS is growing well, and they have plenty of opportunities for people like us who are having good professional background and strong exposure to be able to depend upon, rely upon. So this is about me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. So we will follow the same route again, so that you will have enough breathing space. So so you can start, Jay Ganesh. What are those 3 skills that brought you success? You know, I know that we cannot really call them as entrepreneurial skills, but I'm sure you were quite enterprising in your career to build your career. So that's how I'm sure success may have come your way. So what are those 3 skills that brought you success?
Okay. As a person, I'm evolving every day, both professionally and personally. And I started this journey 20 years back, and this journey is still ongoing. As we all know, that success is not a destination, it's a continuous process. And I strongly believe in that. So in the process, I have acquired many skills, and I have not only learned that, I try to implement that. And I've seen best results, and I don't stop in that. I try to teach that to others who can use the same skills and reach their goals to their fullest potential. So as I told you, I have acquired many skills, of which I strongly feel that I can give emphasis on 3 skills, and that I can correlate with today's discussion. So the first and foremost skill is self-improvement. So I strongly believe in change begins within. So before I see change in others, or before I see change in the entire society, I have to answer myself, what is the change that I have to bring within me? So I also feel that I should be a student for the lifetime. It's not that we are done with our education once we are done with our college or any other professional courses. So we need to be a student for the lifetime, and we need to make sure that we learn new things every now and then, as in when I get a chance, or I'll use that opportunity and then learn as many things as possible. So that is my first key takeaway when it comes to self-improvement. If I change myself first, I can as well. So instead of putting fingers on others, I put fingers on myself. What is the thing that I have learned today? So what is the new thing that I have to start doing from today onwards? So this is my thought process when it comes to first key skills. And having said that, I'll move on to my second, which is the continuation of self-improvement. So as I told you that I will not stop with myself. Whatever things that I have learned, I make it a point to take it to the next level. So that's where training comes into picture. I recall one of my trainer told me in one of my training sessions saying that once you reach to a top level, there is no point staying there all alone. You need to take people along with you, right? So in that process, in that thing, I'll make sure that I take my team along with me, train them, and bring it to the next level. So that is the second when it comes to these entrepreneur skills. And third skill is teamwork. So whatever that I learn, I need to teach to all my teammates. So at my current workplace, I treat my coworkers as my close colleagues. I don't treat them as my juniors or my subordinates. So whether it is a security person, whether it is housekeeping, whether it is a manager cadre, I take them along because you need to take them into confidence. Then only they can achieve objective. So when it comes to goals, we need to focus on personal goals as well as organization's goals also. So once you have confident team members, you can train them, you can take them into confidence, and you can achieve organization's objectives. And one more thing I would like to add here is many of us, we have many goals, whether it is a short-term goal or long-term goal, but many of us, they have goals in their mind, but they are not very sure how to put them into practice. So that's where training helps a lot. I teach them how to use their full potential and how to achieve their individual goals as well as how to align their goals to the organization's objectives. So to summarize, the first thing is self-improvement. I need to work on myself first, and I need to train my team members, and I need to get along with all my team members, work as a full team, and reach organization's objectives.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes. So, Jay Krishnan, you're next, please.
Okay. Basically, when we work in an organization, and I had that 10 years of that teaching and training experience to moving on to the horse, like it's the program management leadership kind of a horse. These two kind of experience and 30 years running around in the field. I mean, most of the Indian states I have seen. So the basic three skills that I used to follow is one is to seek innovations in each program, in each work that we do. Seek innovations, something you आपका एक छाप छोड़ना है. I mean, like हिंदी में कहते हैं छाप छोड़ना. Like you should give an imprint of yourself or your work or something unique that you should give to the routine. Things will go on forever, like it's the same, somebody replacing you will be better than you in efficiency and all that, but something, you should give something new to that whole work that you're doing. So I used to be seeking that, like that pushing my team, pushing myself. That was one of my basic habits. Then second was my team lead was more leading, and the leadership quality was more of mentoring my team actually. So having seen my students, I used to teach. So coming back from there, I had no hassle in working with the team, taking them, teaching them, or maybe mentoring them into something new. So I had very different kind of skill sets just to explain. I had to also, one is the retainership. I had to retain the team because they were very uniquely qualified people. So I cannot fire them just like any marketing or another team where you can replace the person. Here it is a skill that is built over a period of time. So somebody who's good at working with commercial sex workers, working with communication campaigns around those population, or working with, say, community members in the ground, in the villages, kind of working with self-help groups, doing entrepreneurship there. So that kind of thing was never, I mean, I didn't have the liberty. So I had to really strengthen my team through a kind of a iterative kind of, mentorship program that I used to adopt for my team. So that's how they're in big places now, and that gives me a kind of a satisfaction as well, that most of my team members are doing really well, much higher places than what I am now, actually. So that also is one thing. Second is the third skill that is always needed is the convincing, working with government. So look at the positives and work with that to develop a new thing. So that's something which I has to do. One second. So the third skill is more of team management, working with a team, looking at making the team and the environment around the team very conducive for working. We working as an entrepreneur is not enough. You have to also push your team to be an entrepreneur and create that conducive environment around them to do that. So you also have to give space. You also have to accept failures. Maybe like many of the times there may be a failure among our team. So you have to have pockets of excellence. Then what your job as a lead would be to assimilate all, to make it together and make it forceful, the target that we want to achieve, or the kind of overall goals, how we can achieve, taking up these kind of islets of excellences that we have created in our team. So that's kind of thing that which I try to do. I'll like to hear from others and learn from others now. I'll stop. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Yes, Shyam Joshi.
I think my turn. I think being a youngest in the group, I am feeling very happy to share this screen with all of you.
Yes, I'm the youngest. You can't be younger than me.
No, in this group probably. I'm still building a lot of like acquiring a lot of skill. It was very difficult to select three important skill. Lot of thoughts has to be given on selecting three skill that really helping me to get in this position, or probably will help me to be a better. So three skill I thought, and I can share now is first skill is probably analytical and problem solving skill, which I feel is a strength of me, and the way I look at the things and the way I collect the data, which is really helping me and organization for further growth. Second thing is a planning, not in the like I told you in being youngest, I'm not into that strategic planning where we are expanding, or probably like Subodh sir is having, but I'm still consider that as my skill, which is helping me for betterment. And third is what I say, particularly healthcare industry or hospital industry, is transparency and accountability. So I would rather focus on how transparent we are in terms of individual, in terms of organization, and how accountable we are for the deliverables. So these three skills probably I would say that is helping us, and that probably is a key or strength of mine.
Wonderful. Okay. Okay. There will be more questions I need to ask you people a little while later, but we will ask Subodh to do his three skills that brought him success.
As I said, over the time, changes are very important. People have to change, professions have to change. And the more you adopt change, the greater opportunity and possibility of success. It's not that every change is going to bring you success, but what you need to do to become successful is going to be important. You have to realize that, and you have to bring about those important changes in yourself. And the program that Harsha sir takes up, I always call him Harsha sir because he's known me from those 20 days, if you say so. from the times I have passed out not even passed out, when I was a student, from then I have known sir. So I just call him that way. So the program that he takes up is basically to help us analyze those skills that we need to further harness, further polish, further refine. Because I believe that every individual has an opportunity. Okay, it's not that people don't have opportunities. It is how well one uses that opportunity and realizes what needs to be done there to grow. Because I have been seeing my own self over the years, and Mr. Harsha has known a lot of myself, the way things have happened or not happened or have attempted to take place, everything. So I personally believe that everybody has to change, as time goes by, as circumstances demand of you. There are some skills which I clearly realized that I possess and they have helped me to go or to be where I am. Importantly, explorer is one entrepreneur skill that very, very clearly I realize I have. And it's a very important skill for an individual of the 17 skill sets that SIRS program has. Explorer makes you involve people, explore opportunities, explore the circumstances and the teams that you have, and assess what best in them can help you achieve the present goal in front of you or the long-term objectives that you've set. I personally believe that people who are a part of the system, who are a part of the process, who are a part of the department, will always have good knowledge of that and will have more practical suggestions, ideas to give us. Sitting in rooms, we really cannot decide what some department should do or should not do. At a strategic level, yes, if I have to achieve 15 crores a month, I know that marketing has to go to the market and get me people. But I also need to know which department will be the most sought after, which specialist and which team will have to rise up to provide better and more accurate service levels. I have to go down to the department and explore the possible risks, whether the team that has been handling 20 patients a day, can they handle 40 patients a day to make it 15 crores a month? So that all is important for a person to go down and review. That is where my role will be, in addition to telling the marketing team that get me 15 crores a month, I'll have to see whether if those number of people come to give me 15 crores a month, whether the team down there is ready to take them, whether they need training, as told by Mr. Jay Krishna, whether the people, as told by Jay Ganesh, whether the people are willing to go along, they are willing to share my vision. So as an explorer, I've realized that I go down to the grassroots, make sure people be a part of the overall vision that I want to achieve, because I alone cannot do it. I can only put in the right perspectives and the right resources so that they all can help me achieve that goal. Another thing I felt is a multitasking role, because I realized that as we go forward, people depend more on us. It has taken me quite a bit of, I would say that I burnt my not just fingers, but my hands and everything, when I realized that people bring things to my notice, and if I don't act on them promptly, I am lost. And the task, the opportunity, the timing to complete it is gone. So multitasker is going to be very, very key to become a good entrepreneur. And I have very much developed myself on those lines. To give an example, I would say, often at the end of the day, when I go home, I just think what I have really achieved. What achieved as in not that personally I have achieved something, but for the organization, what really have I done at the end of the day? easily 50% of my time has gone in trying to do what others expected of me. It could be problem solving. It could be getting to monitor something which lagged behind. It could be some doctor calling and asking some support or wanting something to be done for some patient, or some event coming up in the coming week. So 50% easily goes away in these things. So if you're not a multitasker, and if you do one task at a time, obviously your whole day will go in doing just one or two tasks, and you would not feel satisfied at the end of the day. Although I am a multitasker, I call myself capable of attending to more than 2, 3 things at a point of time. Still, I realize that at the end of the day, it's not all that I wanted to achieve is what I've achieved. So multitasker is going to be a very, very key role. You have to be in control of all things around you, not just one or two things which come in front of you, things which have to be completed by a particular day like Saturday or by a next week, Monday. You have to take up some initiatives to make sure that some clarity keeps coming, some control is there on the task, how the process is moving, how the task is being executed at different levels. So multitasker is something that I possess and has helped me come up to here, because I've been able to track more than one task at a given point of time. I also have a lot of ability to take stress. And while I take stress and I'm able to withstand stress and come back and contribute, or go back and continue my work, irrespective of what a particular circumstance on a particular day has done, I feel that's important for every entrepreneur. Because as an entrepreneur, opportunities will just come by your way, problems will just come up to your desk. Neither of them will ask whether this is the best time you can be troubled, or this is the best time you can be focused onto a new initiative. They'll just land by your desk. You will have to keep aside your day, attend to it, and either conclude it or channelize it in a way where it gets concluded in a certain time frame. So stress motivated to be able to bounce back when it really finds to be more difficult, or to really take people and make them feel that all of us can jointly do it, even though it's something which has just come by as a sudden shock to us. This is going to be very, very key to make sure that we sustain and we grow along with the organization. These are, to be precise, these are the 3 things where I feel I definitely have possessed those entrepreneurial skills and can contribute greater and larger using them.
Wonderful. You've gone straight into the learnings itself, straight to the entrepreneurial talents that we discussed in the workshop. Very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me try and bring some kind of a summary to what you people have said so far. Okay. And so if I start with what Jay Ganesh has said, so with all the experience that he has got, the success that he got is through self-improvement. So it is a change within me is what he has focused more on. Before changing anything, it is better I change myself. If I change, things will change. So it is more about learning things and then how to bring about the change. The second aspect is to train the team. It is more about, if you have to go to the next level, then it is important that the team with which you're working also needs to be trained. They also know the tricks of the trade. So it is important to train them. And the third one is more about, teamwork. This is more about learning and teaching them and working together and all that. He also mentioned directly, indirectly, directly rather, building confidence, bringing alignment between the personal goals and the organizational goals, and treating people with dignity and respect, and also like equals, rather than showing that you are a boss, treating them as equals. So this is one thing that he has also mentioned. Then how to reach, so the whole idea is that it is making people, the training or working with the team, all of that is with an intent of reaching the full potential of people. And training is one way of doing it. People know a lot of things, but how do I actually apply it? Knowledge is different, skill is different. Converting the knowledge into a skill and the attitude to continuously keep doing, I think that can be easily achieved in training. And that's what he focuses on. And coming to Jay Krishnan, three things that he spoke about are seeking innovation, mentoring his team, and team management. These are three things that he spoke about. So what he spoke about seeking innovation is he wanted to leave a mark or leave a legacy when somebody looks at his work. What is the mark that you have made here? Number one. Two, what is the legacy? If you're not there, somebody is going to take over from you. So what is the legacy you're going to leave over to the people who are going to come after you? So the whole intention is, what is that I will give to the whole of work, the entire work, how am I going to give it? So this has become his habit, a basic habit, because of which, he always wanted to do something remarkable in the works that he has taken up. Mentoring his team because of his teaching experience and all that, mentoring, teaching, different skills, either for students on research or marketing or community work, any of those things, including training his teams, which he leads. He was director of many projects for pan-India projects, where training is required for people to go and implement it. So he may be sitting in Delhi, but there could be somebody working in the rural areas of Orissa, let us say. So the person needs to be trained. The person will go to those tribal areas and will be working. So how the person should work, all of those things need to be trained and monitored. So he strengthens his team by way of bringing these training programs. So the projects become very strong, the work gets done. He also talked about team management because, the very nature of his work involves a lot of working with the bureaucracy, could be collector level or a junior level people. A lot of convincing has to be done to the government people, and it is not easy to convince them. So that is where he talked about creating an environment of for the team so that they can conducively work. That's the thing that he said. And then give space to people, accept failures. Certain times failures don't happen, face them. And also try to put the targets forcefully where possible, because team excellence will not be possible if you don't force down the targets. So that is one other area that he spoke about. And coming to Shyam, he said that being a doctor himself, okay, and this is something very, very definitive to a doctor, is analytical and problem solving. The first thing, even for therapeutic treatments, the therapeutic plan, when you work out for a patient, the first thing that you do is analyze and then solve the problem. I think very, very doctor-like mentality. So the way I look at things, the way he said, the way I look at things, and the way I collect data to take decisions, and that's very doctorish type of training that he has gone through. Planning, yes, planning I think is a very important aspect. You will be surprised that not many people spoke about planning, and it is somehow, most entrepreneurs, they put the planning at the back burner. They don't really take it as a very serious step to move forward. For them, achievement is all the time, I need to achieve this, I need to achieve this. That is how the focus will be for entrepreneurs. But they will never bring planning to that achievement. So I'm glad that you talked about planning, which actually helped you to become better. And transparency and accountability, it is very, very important. If you want to be this thing, it is very, very important for you to be, even for bring transparency in the work, especially the kind of work that you are in. And also you have to deliver and you have to be accountable. If you're able to transparently show it to people that this is what it is, so deliverables become much more clearer. People will be able to understand. People will feel, yeah, there is accountability. So you will be accountable, they will also be accountable. So that's how you have said that. And coming to Subodh, so what did he say? He said that three things: explorer, multitasker, and stress motivated person. So these three very important aspects. So we all get, which is very true, we all get opportunities, different opportunities, but how do we explore them? How do we take the best advantage of them? How do we make the best out of those opportunities is the key. So even in his current role, at a strategic level, he has targets and all that. What is very important is that these things happen at the ground level. These things happen, and it is targets, people, making it happen at the ground level. And then multitasker. This is more about since people depend on you and you have to do so many things. There's so much of routine that you have. And a lot of things need to be done by you in terms of like approval, telling them, okay, go ahead and do it. So at the end of the day, if you actually look back and see what you have done, your day doesn't look so productive. It is very true when Subodh said that the routine work takes away about 50%. So there is another 50% that needs to be planned. You don't plan it, then it's not going to happen. And at the same time, execution is important. So you have to be multitasking all these activities, different responsibilities that you have to fulfill. So until and unless you are a multitasker, you won't be able to do that. So that's how this is. Okay. And stress motivated is about bouncing back when we all go through stress. There's no doubt about it. And how do we bounce back? How do we? There are a lot of shocks. The first shock we got is COVID. This is the biggest shock that we ever got, and only resilience and bouncing back will help, and nothing else. Wonderful. I think these are the things that you people have said. Since many of you, or most of you, can I say, your organizations are very different, JK, because they are either in America or it's the government of India or a large enterprise, but they all have boards and owners, right? So from your standpoint, what is the one entrepreneur skill that you have seen in your company's owner? There is an owner, there's a managing director in your company. What is that one thing that you have seen which will benefit our entrepreneur group, or you feel that this is something which is very good you have seen? Can you tell? So we'll start with Subodh, and then I'll randomly take names. You can tell. Subodh, you can tell one thing that you liked in your owner. You can talk
There
about.
will be no sequence following here, alphabetical order and all that.
No sequence here.
Okay, so I'm actually proud to answer this, and this is one thing that I've noticed about my CEO. He will close the task. Okay, he will definitely close the task, and till it is closed, he will not leave it also. It goes both way actually. Whatever you bring it to him, whatever, absolutely whatever, at whatever level it might be a trivial thing, it might be a strategic thing, whatever it is. He will make sure it is closed in a time-bound manner. He has this black book. Incidentally, it's got black cover, so I say it's a black book. And it's all noted down there. Okay. He will go back to 3 days, 5 days. If something is done after 5 days of the work being initiated or brought to him, he'll go and strike it off there. And I've seen him, after a lot of discussions, he will note down what exactly he has to do in that. He will not note down all those updates you give. Okay, he'll note down specifically what he has to do to close it. And if it requires somebody else to do it, he will pick up the phone, tell them on the spot, and make sure it is delegated. He has it in his mind. He'll call back in the evening, he'll call back the next day, he'll call back the third day to the concerned person to make sure it's done. So I have seen that as a very, very good trait. It is not necessarily an entrepreneurial trait, a talent or a skill. It is basically more importantly, a manager skill. You have to manage it and close it. We can't sit down that it is COVID, so let everybody stay at home, they should be protected. No, that doesn't work like that. You have to bring them to where they belong, give them adequate resources to feel safe, feel secured, feel protected, and feel taken care. That way, you are giving them the opportunity to work, making them, continue to be on the same role, on the same platform. Not that they're sitting at home and brooding over that I had a 50% cut. I didn't get my salary because nobody has, there's COVID and nothing can be done. So he makes sure that you do your bit, you get your bit, and you do it in an environment where you feel safe, feel secure, you don't feel threatened, you don't feel exposed. So that's closing the task which has come to your table in whatever duration it takes, in a time-bound manner, and with a constant monitoring and control of the event of the circumstances. He does it that way. So that's something that I really found as very, very helpful to people under him. And it is very, very important for him to move on. If he would not be able to go back and strike off those tasks, he would only be writing books and not closing them. So that's something I found very, very useful for any entrepreneur to possess of the many skills he has.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So what do you think, Sham, that you see in your boss, in your MD?
I think very good question, and I would be happy to answer his vision. So I'll not talk about him, but if you enter in our hospital or our setup, you meet housekeeping staff or probably nursing staff who is working at ER. They might have that same vision, what exactly the vision what our MD is having. So probably his what you call strength or the very important factor what he's delivering is his vision, and he's transmitting that vision from A level staff to Z level staff. So everyone is in that loop what we want, and they know exactly how we want to go. So that vision is clearly probably that vision is MD's vision. He clearly transmitted that vision into entire staff. So two key factor is how should we have vision, a very clear vision, and how to transmit to all staff so the deliverables, so the outcome is same what we are expecting. So that I want to talk about.
Okay. JK, what did you see?
Yeah, one of the major thing which I liked in my boss is the autonomy, while also closing the task. Something similar to what Subodh was saying. It's not kept open-ended. Nothing is kept open-ended. Goes on forever kind of a thing. But definitely giving the autonomy to the team, creating that space and the environment to do the excellence. Create the excellence, but also closing the task at the right time. I mean, in terms of giving that space, but then closing that this thing, because some output is expected, so that output has to also come in that time. So that's something which is a mix of the right mix of both is something which I found very well, and I worked with him for about more than 9 to 10 years, and we were really a team in terms of creating the that taking the small organization to a different one, taking it to it. So I think that's something which was really, kind of enriching for me to take from him. I mean, like that's the key.
So Jay Ganesh, your boss is similar to the one Sham has. Both of you have same bosses. So what did you, anything different than what? Vision is something that, is definitely the thing, because I have seen him and I've seen how the organization works. What do you have to say, Jay Ganesh?
One word that strikes my mind when I think of our management is liberty that they give to all the staff, the freedom. So to justify this statement, I would like to tell you one thing. Ours is a medium-sized hospital.
Correct.
So our hierarchy is not that complex. So we have our MD and ED at the top level, and we have me and Dr. Sham, who is part of core team. So the top management, they do the best and leave the rest to us. Do the best, I mean, when it comes to patient care, they are the best. And when it comes to the rest, they leave the administration to us. They don't get into the micromanagement level. They take both of us into confidence, and they are very much sure that we can take care of the other things. So the freedom is one thing that strikes my mind whenever I can think of our management.
Yeah, that is always there. In the company, a lot of decisions are made at the ground level. That is something unique. Maybe it is because the size is smaller, so it becomes
Yes.
easy to manage. But your specialization is also like that,
Yeah.
it's a very specialized hospital. Wonderful, gentlemen. Thank you very much for participating and making this a good knowledge sharing exercise where you have shared your own personal stories. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck
And,
to all.
Pleasure
Yes.
meeting all from my
Pleasure
side.
meeting.
Thank you. Thank you.